last one, why is change so hard? I'm a huge student of history, and I looked back at history, and I started to, as I thought about what has happened in our past over the past thousands of years, I started to think a lot about this word homeostasis, which most people know this word, and it means the urge to return to stable conditions is basically what it means. When it was coined about 100 years ago, it was first applied to physiology, and we all know this. When we're too cold, we want to put on some more clothes. When we're too hot, we want to take them off or get into the air conditioning. When we're hungry, we want to eat. So there's this strong and consistent urge to come back to those stable conditions that seem optimal to survival. But what then it started to be applied to is the fact that people also have a strong homeostatic urge when it comes to economics and sociology and political groupings. And as I thought about this, I realized that until pretty recently, most people's lives did not change very much. I mean, when you think about even 100 years ago, most people grew up in the same place their parents had grown up. Most people if they went to school, they went to the same school that their parents and their siblings went to. If I'm a pipe fitter, my son's going to be a pipe fitter. Life was pretty stable, and change was a threat. If you think about human beings 200, 300, 500, 1,000 years ago, most of the time when a change happened, it was dangerous and a threat. It was a famine, and we want to get back to eating regularly, or it was a war, and we want to get back to peace and a certain level of prosperity. So I started to think, wow, we're wired over most of human history to consider change a threat and a danger. And this homeostatic urge to come back to what has worked before, until very recently, that mostly served us. But now over this last, few decades especially, change has become a daily thing that we all have to deal with. Changes on so many levels, personally, professionally, organizationally. And so that long-standing historical urge to always come back to what's worked before, to come back to the known, that just doesn't serve us as well as it used to. In a way, we need to rewire ourselves to see change as generally neutral and potentially positive, which is not how most of us go into it most of the time.